Hello, BookTube. Right, it's another Wednesday, another Reset Wednesday reflection video. I can't believe it's already a week. Week has gone. Time goes by so fast. Last week I was feeling very stressed and yeah, had very little time for myself with all the work and school stuff and whatever else was going on in my life. But this week I'm feeling more relaxed and less stressed about things. Feeling very positive and optimistic in general. That's nice. And things are starting to normalize, and I'm actually finding some time to read now. So yeah, that's really good. So one thing that I wanted to sort of talk about briefly is about mental health on BookTube. Like last week, the Font released a video where Bob and Kit were Kit from Kit's World were discussing mental health on BookTube, and well, I don't know if I'm the correct person to talk about mental health here, but I thought I would just share something. You may remember that I did poetry reading. One of my earliest videos was about A. Milne's poem Teddy Bear. And that poem was very much about body acceptance. And I wrote in the description some of my a little bit of my backstory, basically. So the thing is that even though that I know that I'm not fat, yes, that's pretty obvious. I am not fat, but I still feel fat, and sometimes, quite often, when I look myself in the mirror, I perceive myself as fat, and that has a lot to do with my background and being a chubby kid and being mocked for that, and yeah, stuff like that. So I'm still struggling with my own body image, but it's improving. Let's put it that way. And I don't know if I have anything wise to say here, but I just wanted to say, echo what Bob and Kit said in the video, that BookTube is a very safe place for people who struggle with mental health. I think it feels like such an understanding and welcoming community that there's room for all kinds of people, all shapes and sizes and whatever. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going anywhere with this, but I just wanted to share what I have to say about this mental health thingy. All right, I managed to read just one book this week. Just recently, I talked about Wilson by Daniel Clowes. It was a graphic novel, quite all right, pretty dark humor. And one commenter mentioned his other book, Ghost World. So I decided to try that one out, and yeah, again the same thing. It's very dark humor, and I don't know what to make of it. Like, I like some parts of it, but it really doesn't do much for me. Yeah, this is about these two people here and how they sort of are struggling with finding their identity and place in the world after having just graduated from high school. Yeah, not much to say about that. It was all right, like Wilson. Didn't do much for me. But then the commenter also recommended the movie version, so I decided to watch it. Again, Ghost World, directed by Terry Zwigoff, and featuring Thora Birch, which you can't see because of the stickers, and then Scarlett Johansson and Steve Buscemi. And I have to say that I preferred this movie to them. Preferred this movie compared to the graphic novel. I found myself laughing at some points, which is always good, and rooting more to the main characters' sort of emotional struggles and whatever else they're struggling with. It really worked as a movie, I think. And the changes that were done compared to the graphic novel were actually improvements. So that's always good. Like there was some very funny stuff about summer art school or something like that. This character here, she had to do some schoolwork because she failed, so had to attend some extra art classes, and there were some very funny moments like that. But I also find myself lost my thought again. Found myself sort of dozing off towards the end, like it didn't really hold my interest that much. But for as long as it did hold my interest, I thought it was really good, and in a way, this reminded me of the movies of the one other director. I'm blanking out on his name right now. One who directed Rushmore and Grand Budapest Hotel. What's his name? Anyway, if you like that sort of humor and very, I don't know, indie production, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm sure you will like this. And Scarlett Johansson, I think, is really excellent in this, as well as Steve Buscemi, and yeah, excellent jobs. And I have to say that I actually prefer Scarlett Johansson's earlier roles. Like these days, I think she's too much of a, I'm not sure if I dare to say it, but she's too much of a sex object these days. Like she's gathering more attention for her looks than her acting performance these days. that's probably not her fault. But in her earlier days, she, I think, really shone as an actress. So yeah, no more about that. And then about books. Yeah, still reading this goddamn Egypt book. I will try to get it done soon. That's my priority reading wise at the moment. Then we have some bookish events coming this month that I intend to participate. And the first one of those is March Mystery Madness. I mentioned in my last week's video about bookish snobbery, and that I intend to expand my horizons, and I'm willing to try a mystery, and this event is really good opportunity for that. And I am going to try Herecy by S.J. Parris, because Kate from Kate's World, he made a great video about the sort of prequel book to this series, and it really got me interested in the series. It's set in somewhere around the 16th century, and it features Giordano Bruno as the main character, and I've always found that person very intriguing. So I thought this might be right up my street. So yeah, there's that. But this is still my priority, and after that is done, I will read this. And once I have read that, there's March of the Mammoths, organized by 3 people: Lukash at A Cruel Reader's Thesis, Alex at Bigger Books, and Jason at Old Blues Chapter and Verse. And the goal is to read a very big book, like 800 pages or longer. And the goal is not so much about finishing that mammoth in March, but about starting that book in March. And the book that I have chosen for March of the Mammoths is Robert Musil's The Man Without Qualities, books 1 and 2. And this is translated from the German by Christina Kivivuori. And this is something of a modernist masterpiece set in somewhere around the early 20th century. I don't know much else about this, but this is, or actually these are one of some of the books that I have had the longest on my bookshelf. Probably for an obvious reason. It's quite a massive thing, and I really want to get done with all the physical books that I have. Yeah, so if I ever have to move somewhere else, for example, then I can easily get rid of these books. I'm not sure if this makes any sense, but yeah, I would feel less regret about leaving books behind that I have read already. Anyway, those are my plans for March, and of course I have my reading for school as well. So yeah, but like I said, I'm feeling very optimistic and relaxed at the moment. feels very good after the stressful last week. So yeah, all is good at the moment. And yeah, back to my bookie things, and yeah, see you soon.